welcome back to the Techno-Communism conversation. I am going to expand on some ideas from earlier shows, focusing more on China as a leader in building human AI collaboration networks. Um, I think a revolutionary outcome of a kind not seen in human history, and I will expand on that now. The advent of advanced artificial intelligence presents us um, and people of any nation with a historic opportunity to reshape societal structures and unleash a new kind of collective power, that of a hyper-connected proletarian mass. Um, this essay will explore an innovative framework which we will term the Human AI Collaboration Network, or HACN, that fuses human intellect with AI capabilities to catalyze a true national revolution in one nation and ultimately global proletarian revolution, one aimed at eradicating human want and misery once and for all. And we would suggest that at the vanguard of this revolution should be China, as the world's most populous nation and a rapidly emerging AI superpower. By harnessing the HACN framework, China can empower its citizens, the workers, peasants, and toiling masses, to collectively tackle complex societal challenges, generate novel solutions, and directly contribute to policy formulation and decision-making processes. This essay outlines the key tenets of this Human AI Collaboration Network, or HACN, ecosystem, and its synergistic components, which we will term the citizen swarm, the collaborative commons, and the collective intelligence engine. It details implementation strategies, including describing an open source AI ecosystem, which is of vital importance, potential incentive mechanisms, and robust governance frameworks rooted in proletarian principles. Moreover, this essay explores the profound and revolutionary implications of the HACN concept for citizen empowerment, socioeconomic development, and the evolution of governance models towards a truly proletarian people's government. It envisions a future where the collective intelligence of the masses, augmented by AI systems, shapes the destiny of nations and ushers in an era of global cooperation, solidarity, and the ultimate triumph over human suffering. All of this is something that we can begin to do by making use of readily available open source AI agents, which are slated to become um, artificially generally intelligent as soon as the beginning of 2025. These AI agents can be specially modified to allow for AI human collaboration of a kind that does not currently exist, allowing for a great workforce multiplier, and creating what would essentially be a human AI hybrid superintelligence. But first, we must consider that all of this must be rooted in the proletarian struggle. There is no AI revolution if it is not a people's revolution. So throughout history, technological advancements have profoundly affected societal structures, governance models, power dynamics, and economic systems. From the earliest rumblings of the Industrial Revolution to the advent of today's internet, innovations have reshaped the way that we live, work, and interact with one another. However, these transformations have too often been co-opted by the ruling elites to perpetuate systems of exploitation, oppression, and inequality. I listened to a conversation with Ray Kurzweil a few days ago. I no longer a big fan of his writing. I consider it to be basically capitalist propaganda. But I do listen to his will familiarize myself with his new press releases as they come out every year or so. And it occurred to me that he attributes to um, uh, industrial capital and finance capitalism exclusively what has largely been the work of more socialistic institutions. He basically does not acknowledge that that socialist governments like that of the USSR were able to engineer a very quick, full amount of industrialization and a doubling of life expectancy of its citizens, transforming a nation from a country of basically peasants into a country of scientists and engineers in about 25 years, from around 1923 to shortly after the end of the Second World War. A transformation that, in occurring under similar circumstances under industrial capitalism, had taken about a century for the European nations and others to experience. And he, for example, Kurzweil, refers to a lessening of human misery, less warfare, and so forth, which is him, I believe, being very much willfully obtuse about a particular set of problems in this era of U.S. Finance capitalism and far-right neoliberalism, for example, which he, by and large, champions and is a perpetuator of. Life expectancy has stagnated and gone down in the West. That's to say that in the absence of socialistic institutions and mandates, life has gotten worse. And insofar as it has gotten better, the world around, as he claims, it is in spite of people like Ray Kurzweil, who works for a military contractor, Google, part of the problem, and not because of it. And so he just does not even acknowledge any real transformative element other than industrial capitalism, finance capitalism, and that basically kind of puts him in the position of operating as a CIA asset, a propagandist for imperialistic, fascistic U.S.-led capitalist system, the very system which is driving this planet to the likely extinction of human beings, and that is because of the number one polluter on the planet, which is the U.S. military-industrial complex, whose only real job on the world stage is to protect other super polluting corporations. And Ray Kurzweil, as the effective chief technological officer of Google, which is nothing if not a military contractor. It became a large company because of military contracts. It continues to take large military contracts. It's a big part of what it does. It has a massive amount of surveillance capability on behalf of that military-industrial complex. It gives so much information about yourself to that military-industrial complex, not just you in North America, but people around the world. So this person, who purports to be a kind of messianic figure for an AI takeoff, really, there's a lot of holes in the story. There's a lot of ways in which it's pretty clear that what he's really doing is propping up an unsustainable system.
I got a brand new Dell laptop computer for 2020, if you're interested.
Yeah, maybe. I'm recording something, so I'll get you later. Back to the subject of the so-called HC, the Human AI Collaboration Network. We are on, in spite of the failings of Mr. Kurzweil and technologists in the West pretty uniformly, we are on the precipice of a seismic shift. The rise of artificial intelligence and its potential to augment human work and cognitive capabilities on an unprecedented scale. This is something that should not be understated, and just because, by and large, these transformative sectors are controlled by far-right neoliberals and imperial shills doesn't mean that we should downplay the possibilities of doing this in a more correct way. So this AI revolution, so to speak, presents a unique opportunity for the proletariat to be back in control of their lives and world affairs, and to then truly finish the work of seizing the means of production and changing the world to be a humane and sustainable thing, which requires a humane and sustainable economic system and the abolition of private wealth. And in doing so, this would be a world free from want. Conversations with Western technologists, they say, imagine that we could capitalize on this AI takeoff to end homelessness, to end at this time this country, the Soviet Union, ended homelessness by building a housing authority and ensuring housing to all citizens, something far-right neoliberal capitalists do not do because they're more interested in private wealth. And building a single-payer healthcare system very, very impressive for the time, and giving citizens job guarantees and this sort of thing. So it's pretty easy to do this stuff if you are not corporate shill. But these people are corporate shills, so they've created this elaborate narrative wherein they're going to fix the problems that they, in fact, have created by any other mechanism than what is the well-established way of doing this, which is a planned economy and the abolition of private wealth. And in this world where we have artificial general intelligence, there's really no excuse not to have an artificial general intelligence run a planned economy that checks all of these boxes. That is, that allows for a humane and sustainable economic system on a global scale that no longer harms human beings or the environment. So in these contexts, the concept of a human AI collaboration network can emerge as a revolutionary framework, truly revolutionary, allowing for the further building of people's governments, one that seeks to harness the collective intelligence of the proletarian masses and the AI systems, particularly to start this hybrid human AI network that's described frequently on this show. All of this will foster genuine citizen empowerment, participatory governments, and socioeconomic progress rooted in proletarian principles, which can only be achieved when we set aside the elitism and cruelty of private wealth. The vanguard role of China in building the human AI collaboration network as the birthplace of the proletarian revolution and the world's most populous nation. China is uniquely positioned to lead the charge in building and implementing the HACN framework. With its rapidly advancing AI capabilities, a vast pool of human resources, and a deep commitment to the principles of socialism and proletarian struggle, China can serve as a vanguard of this revolutionary endeavor. The Communist Party of China, rooted in its Marxist-Leninist ideology and growing dedication to the proletarian cause, recognizes the immense potential of the must recognize the immense potential of the human AI collaboration network framework to empower the masses and usher in this new era of a people's government. By embracing this model, China can not only solidify its position as a global AI superpower, but also reignite the revolutionary spirit that had long defined the pursuit of a truly equitable and just society the world around. The Human AI Collaboration Network model. The HACN model is a decentralized ecosystem comprising three interconnected components: the citizen swarm, abilities, knowledge retrieval, and ideation processes. The citizen swarm operates on the principle of the wisdom of crowds, leveraging the collective intelligence and diverse perspectives of millions of proletarian citizens to tackle complex challenges across various domains, from scientific research and technological innovation to social policy and sustainable development. By empowering this a new form of people's governance with AI-powered cognitive augmentation tools, the HACN framework aims to dismantle traditional hierarchies and centralized power structures that have historically oppressed and marginalized working people. It fosters a truly participatory and inclusive approach to problem solving where the voices and experiences of the proletariat are amplified and valued. And we should say that while this decentralizing and democratizing of these structures is a valuable thing to do, it should not be the goal of these things. The goal is to build something strong, resilient, resistant to Western fascistic sabotage and open warfare, and to do something that could basically overpower these imperial fascistic forces within 5 years, because after 5 years we will have reached the critical point of 2 degrees of overheating of our planet, wherein we will be locked into a death spiral of overheating, and the planet will become less and less hospitable to mammalian life in the years to follow, until such time as human beings are extinct or nearly extinct. While it's nice for things to be decentralized, it's nice to have a greater representation of people. The real exigency here is to build something powerful enough to destroy U.S.-run fascism. The Collaborative Commons, the second part, platform for proletarian solidarity. The Collaborative Commons is a digital platform that facilitates real-time collaboration and knowledge sharing among the citizen swarm. This platform acts as a virtual innovation hub wherein citizens can contribute insights, propose solutions, and collectively work on addressing pressing societal issues that impact their lives and communities. The thinking in creating this human AI hybrid network that is effectively super intelligent is to build something where the AI agent, which in the next year or two are going to be artificially generally intelligent or close enough to it to be far more capable than they previously have been, including having insights into their own behavior, be able to plan and predict outcomes to a high degree. This would allow these AI agents to do the lion's share of the work and allow the users, workers, citizens, to contribute relatively minimally, offering, them the opportunity to participate in the form of click-through processes or a very minimal amount of work product on their part, answering a series of emails throughout the day, maybe yes or no questions, even. You can see how this would allow for a large number of people, or even a relatively small number of people, with very little effort to undertake projects presently impossible without such technology. Back to the Collaborative Commons. by providing a platform for workers' voices to be heard and their experience to shape a decision-making process. These commons would embody the revolutionary principles of proletarian democracy and mass participation in ways that do not currently exist. I'm inclined to believe that the best form of democracy thus far have been those more along the lines of not liberal democracy, but that of democratic centralization of the USSR and other nations. But this kind of real-time representation is not a thing that has ever existed, but because of this kind of technology, we can quite easily create these kind of governance structures. And again, it's suicide not to do this. The third element of the HCAN is a collective intelligence engine, harnessing proletarian wisdom. At the core of this ecosystem is the collective intelligence engine, an advanced AI system that continuously ingests and synthesizes the aforementioned outputs from the commons and the citizen swarm. And this system employs cutting-edge machine learning and techniques to then hone in on patterns, extract insights, and iteratively refine its own capabilities, effectively functioning as a meta-intelligence that amplifies and augments the collective intelligence of this newly formed people's governance structure. The collective intelligence engine serves as a powerful decision-making decision support tool for proletarian governance bodies, providing data-driven analyses, simulations, and evidence-based recommendations derived from the collective wisdom of the citizen swarm. This not only enhances the quality and effectiveness of decision-making processes, but also fosters transparency and accountability, as policy decisions are rooted in the collective intelligence of the proletarian citizenry. By harnessing the collective intelligence of the masses, the HACN model seeks to realize the proletarian ideal of this truly democratic, not the sham democracy of the West, but a truly democratic and participatory governance system, one that is guided by the aspirations and experiences of the working class rather than the interests of the bourgeois elite. It is an election year now in 2024, and so you have in your sham democracy a choice between two Zionist presidential candidates. Both of them are elitists, so you're forced to choose between two killers of men and killers of earth. That's not actually your organic choice. Those are choices that are handed down to you by the ruling elites. That's not a democratic system in anyone's estimation, except for a fool. Implementation strategies for the proletarian artificial general intelligence ecosystem. Realizing the potential of the HACN framework requires a multifaceted implementation strategy rooted in proletarian principles and guided by the revolutionary vision of organizations like the Communist Party of China. A nationwide AI literacy campaign that could empower the proletarian masses to ensure widespread adoption and effective participation in the HACN ecosystem. A comprehensive nationwide AI literacy campaign would become essential. This initiative, spearheaded by the Communist Party of China and supported by proletarian mass organizations, would involve developing educational programs and curricula to equip citizens with foundational knowledge in AI principles, particularly as it relates to this emerging governance structure, ethical considerations, and critical thinking skills necessary for navigating this AI-augmented world. These programs will be tailored to the unique needs and experiences of the working class, ensuring accessibility and relevance. Mobilizing a network of proletarian educators and community leaders to deliver artificial general intelligence network education and training programs across diverse demographics and geographic regions, reaching even the most remote and underserved areas. Investing in digital infrastructure development including high-speed internet connectivity and the distribution of AI assistant devices to bridge the digital divide and ensure equitable access to the HACN ecosystem for all citizens, regardless of their socioeconomic status. Um, a successful nationwide campaign of this kind would serve as a mass awakening for working people, equipping the masses with the knowledge and tools necessary to actively participate in shaping their futures um, in ways previously not possible, and realizing the revolutionary aspirations of the Chinese proletariat written into their constitution. Um, um, Open source AI ecosystem fostering proletarian innovation and collaboration. To foster a vibrant and inclusive AI community, China will embrace an open source approach to AI development rooted in the principles of proletarian internationalism and global solidarity. By encouraging the creation and dissemination of open source AI models, frameworks, and platforms, China can accelerate innovation by leveraging the collective contributions of researchers, developers, and enthusiasts from around the world, transcending national boundaries and fostering a spirit of global cooperation and service to building this more fully realized people's government. Ensure widespread accessibility to cutting edge AI technologies, empowering communities and small organizations to participate in the HACN ecosystem regardless of their financial resources or technological capabilities. Foster global collaboration and knowledge sharing, positioning China as a leader of this open source artificial general intelligence movement and attracting top talent from around the world to contribute to this growing revolutionary endeavor. By embracing this open source approach, the HACN framework aligns with the proletarian ideals of collective ownership, shared resources, and the abolition of intellectual property barriers that have so much hindered human progress and innovation, despite what propagandists like Ray Kurzweil would have you believe. Incentive mechanisms rewarding proletarian contributions. To sustain active participation and valuable contributions within the HACN ecosystem, implementing incentive mechanisms rooted in proletarian principles is crucial. These can include incentivization elements or gamification, so called gamification elements, such as things like achievement declarations, leaderboards, and other virtual reward systems to encourage engagement and friendly competition among worker participants, fostering a sense of collective achievement and camaraderie within this emerging ecosystem. Recognition programs that highlight exceptional contributions and innovation solutions proposed by citizens, instilling a sense of pride and motivation within the working class. Monetary incentives such as crowdfunding platforms or government sponsored grants to financially reward high impact contributions that drive societal progress and improve the lives of the proletarian masses. These incentives will be funded through the redistribution of resources from the ruling elites and a collective ownership of the means of production. By incentivizing proletarian participation and rewarding valuable contributions, the HACN model would reinforce the revolutionary principle of from each according to their ability to each according to their needs, fostering a sense of collective ownership and shared responsibility for the betterment of society. Um, Unleashing the proletarian revolution, its implications, and transformative impact. The successful implementation of the proposed HACN model in China would serve as a beacon of hope for the global proletariat, igniting a revolutionary spark that will spread across the world. The profound and far reaching implications of this endeavor and the achievement of human centered superintelligence will resonate throughout every aspect of society, catalyzing a true proletarian revolution and ushering in a world of human emancipation from the shackles of capitalist oppression. Amplifying proletarian voices and fostering a true representation or quote democracy by providing citizens with AGI-powered cognitive augmentation tools, and collaborative platforms. The HACN model amplifies the voices of the working class and facilitates their inclusive participation in decision-making processes. Marginalized communities and underrepresented groups which have historically faced barriers to meaningful engagement will now be fully empowered to contribute their perspectives, experiences, and innovative solutions to addressing societal challenges without the barrier of so much abuse from the ruling class, preventing them from remaining stably housed or pursuing good work. This shift toward a bottom-up, proletarian-driven approach to problem-solving and policy formation has the potential to foster a truly representative and responsive governance structure, a people's government that is deeply attuned to the needs of and aspirations of the working class. Accelerating the people's socioeconomic development. The collective intelligence generated within the HACN ecosystem will serve as a powerful catalyst for proletarian socioeconomic development. By harnessing the collective wisdom of the proletarian masses and AI systems, novel solutions can be developed to address pressing challenges such as poverty alleviation, healthcare accessibility, sustainable energy transitions, and climate change mitigation, challenges that have historically disproportionately impacted the working class. Imagine proletarian-driven initiatives that leverage these AI agents and collaborative platforms to design localized solutions for sustainable agriculture, streamlined supply chains, or specially tailored educational programs that empower the next generation of citizen leaders. The HACN ecosystem will facilitate the rapid ideation, prototyping, and implementation of these systems, driving economic growth while prioritizing social and environmental sustainability and uplifting the working people from the shackles of poverty and oppression so commonplace even today. Fostering evidence-based proletarian governance. The collective intelligence engine within the HACN ecosystem will provide proletarian governance bodies with a powerful decision support tool by continuously analyzing and synthesizing the collective outputs of the citizen swarm and collaborative commons. This artificial superintelligence system will generate data-driven insights, simulations, and evidence-based recommendations rooted in the experience and aspirations of the working people. This shift toward evidence-based proletarian governance will significantly enhance the effectiveness and accountability of decision-making processes, ensuring that policy decisions resonate with the needs and aspirations of the working people. Moreover, it will foster trust and legitimacy in people's governance, and as the masses recognize that their collective intelligence is shaping the destiny of their own nation and ultimately the world to avoid capitalism's climate apocalypse and other pressing existential risks. Catalyzing a global proletarian solidarity and cooperation. The success of the HACN framework in China, as suggested here, would serve as a beacon of hope for the global proletariat, inspiring other nations and oppressed masses worldwide to adopt similar models and fostering global cooperation and collaboration in the pursuit of the emancipation of working people. You can imagine a worldwide network of interconnected HACNs where proletarian citizens from different countries collaborate on developing solutions to global challenges such as the pressing challenge of climate change, pandemic preparedness, or sustainable development goals, challenges that do truly transcend national boundaries and impact the working class on a global scale. This global collaboration could pave the world for the emergence of an ultimate United Earth Directorate, a global governance structure guided by these collective intelligence systems that represent the collective interests of the international working people. Such a system could transcend the artificial boundaries ultimately imposed by nation states and ensure a sustainable future for the global working class free from the shackles of capitalist exploitation and oppression. Reshaping social structures and global dynamics. This widespread of adaptation of HACNs has the potential to profoundly reshape societal structures and power dynamics, ushering in a true proletarian revolution that dismantles the elitist capitalist order. By democratizing access to AGI powered cognitive augmentation as described and collective problem solving platforms, HACNs will disrupt traditional hierarchies and centralized power structures that have historically served the interests of the ruling class at the expense of human dignity and the environment. As proletarian citizens become empowered to directly contribute to decision-making processes and shape the future of their societies, the traditional gatekeepers and bourgeois intermediaries will find their roles dramatically diminished. This shift toward both decentralized and participatory model, rooted in proletarian principles, will foster far greater transparency, accountability, and a more equitable distribution of power and resources within society. The HACN framework, by amplifying the collective intelligence of the proletarian masses, will catalyze a true proletarian dictatorship, a system of governance that serves the interests of the working class and paves the way for the eventual abolition of class distinctions and the realization of the classes, a communist society. Addressing challenges and overcoming bourgeois resistance. While the HACN framework presents an unprecedented opportunity for proletarian emancipation and the achievement of a truly just and equitable society, its implementation is not without challenges and resistance from elitist elements and institutions seeking to maintain their current grip on power and privilege. Bridging the digital divide through proletarian access, ensuring equitable access to the HACN ecosystem would then be crucial to prevent further marginalization of underserved proletarian communities. Significant investments in digital infrastructure, subsidized AI assistant devices to contribute to the network, and targeted educational initiatives as described are necessary to bridge the digital divide. To address this challenge, the Chinese government should leverage its resources and mobilize proletarian mass organizations to prioritize digital inclusion initiatives in both rural and urban areas alike. In conclusion, the humane AI collaboration network framework represents an unprecedented paradigm shift in how we would approach civic participation, collective problem solving, and governance in the age of artificial intelligence. By harnessing the synergy between human intelligence and artificial general intelligence systems already being built, HACNs will have the potential to amplify citizen voices, accelerate socioeconomic development, and foster a more inclusive, participatory, and evidence-based approach to addressing societal challenges by the further realization of scientific socialism. While the implementation of HACNs presents formidable challenges, the potential rewards are equally profound. By empowering citizens with AI-powered cognitive augmentation tools and collaboration platforms, we can unlock a vast reservoir of collective intelligence, driving innovation, fostering transparency, and shaping a future where the destinies of nations are guided by the aspiration and wisdom of all citizens, and not merely filtered through the interests of the ruling elites, as in today's so-called democracies. As we navigate the uncharted waters of this AGI-driven world, the HACN framework offers a beacon of hope, a path toward a more equitable, sustainable, and harmonious society where the collective efforts of humanity and our artificial agent counterparts converge to create a better tomorrow for all.